Hello and welcome. This is Varun, Technical Advisor, Design and Prototyping and Educational Consultant for tutormesh.com. In this session, we'll be discussing about Dynamic Block in AutoCAD. Dynamic block is a block that contains dynamic behavior. It may include certain rules, parameters, or change of appearance of the block itself. Basically, dynamic block is really useful while you're designing many complex designs and structures. So I would like to explain dynamic block with an example. Consider the drawing like this. These are the images of the standard nails available in the market. So consider the first one. This nail has a specified length that is 3 inch, whereas the second one has a specified length of 4 inch, and so on. So that means when I create a block called nail, the default way I can create only one block. So that means if I want to create these 4 nails, I have to create 4 different blocks. But at times I don't need all the 4 different blocks. So I can use a dynamic block to toggle between different sizes of the nail itself. So now let's see this example and get to know dynamic block in much more detail. Now let me start my drawing. So as we know that the nails were given in a dimension of feet and inches. So that means I have to change my units of AutoCAD to architectural. So to do so, I will type UN and press enter. I will change my length type from decimal to architectural like this, and I will press OK, and I'm ready to go. What I will do is that first I will draw a line of length 3 inch, that is 3 inch like this, and press enter. So that means this line is of length 3 inch. I will randomly create a rectangle which is of any size like this. Correct. Now I will move this rectangle with respect of this midpoint to this endpoint like this. Right. Now let me offset the center line at a distance of 0.1 and press enter, and I will offset this line to here and this line to here like this. Correct. Now I will draw a line from this endpoint slantingly like this. Correct. Now I will mirror that line with respect to the center line like this. Correct. Next, I will trim off the unwanted part so that I can get a shape of a nail like this. Right. Now I will delete this line and trim off the inner part like this. Right. So this becomes the standard nail of 3 inch. Now after completing my design, let me create this as a block. So for that, let us type B and press enter. For the name, I will put nail. Correct. For the base point, I will go for pick point and pick this midpoint as the base point. Correct. The next one is to select the objects. Let me select the entire drawing as an object and press enter. Right. After doing so, I will go and pick this option of open in block editor. That means it will open in a block editor where we can give the dynamic behaviors. So I'll press OK and it will be opened in the block editor window. So this is a window where you develop your dynamic block. Coming back to the example, we have already done with this one. Now we have to create other 3 with the respective size, that is 4 inch, 5 inch and 6 inch. So to do so, I have to apply certain parameters and actions to get such an output. As we know that we are already familiarized with the geometric constraints and the dimensional constraints. The additional tab which we have here is parameters, actions and parameter set. Parameters means you can apply the parameters to the object. It can be linear parameter, angular parameter or array parameter. So for the time being, I will be going for the linear parameter. That means my requirement is to increase the length in certain stages. So I will give the linear parameter starting from this midpoint and going till this endpoint like this. Correct. Let me bring my distance out and click it here. Notice that there is a small exclamation mark and it shows that no actions are associated with the parameter. So you must remember that if you have given any parameter, you must give some action, else it won't reflect anything in your object. So as my parameter has been applied, I will go for the action and select stretch. That is because I want to stretch my object to certain distances. So I will go for stretch option, which is here, and select the parameter. The parameter is this one, that is distance. Now it is asking specify the point where you want to stretch. I want to stretch it towards this point, so I will select this as the point. Right. Now it is asking to specify the corner of the stretch frame. That means I have to show a frame to show which all objects or which side must be stretched. So I will show my frame like this, Correct. Now it is asking to select the object. I will select all these objects so that it will be stretched on command. And I will press enter to apply the stretch action. So after doing this, you can go for close block editor and save to the block to see what happens. So I will go for close block editor and it is asking the save option. So I will save the changes to the nail. So now when you select this object like this, you can see an additional length and parameter has been available. So when you click this one, you can actually increase the length like this. Really interesting, right? But the problem is I have to give certain length specifically, that is 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch and so on. So for that, I will go to the block editor again. So to go to the block editor, you can double click on this object or you can type BE and press enter. This will bring about the edit block definition. I will select nail as my block and go for OK. Correct. Now, as we have said that, we have to specify the distance manually. So I will select the distance, right click on it, go for properties to get the properties of this distance parameter. In this, when you scroll down, you can find an option called value set. That means I can give a specific value from the option value set. For the distance type, I will change this one to list. That means I will give a list of length. You can give increment also, that means the length will be incremented at a certain value. So for the time being, I will give a list. For the distance value list, we have only 3 inch as the list. I will click here and go for the option which is available here. So this will bring about the dialog box to add the distance value. So I need 3 inch, I will add 4 inch, 5 inch and 6 inch like this. Correct. After adding the specific length, I will press OK. And now let us check what is the reflection. That is close block editor, save the changes. Right. I will insert the block again. That is snail, press OK. I will insert it. Right. So now this is of length 3 inch, right? When you see here, it is 3 inch. Now when you click here, you can see that other sizes are available. That is 4 inch, 5 inch and 6 inch. You cannot increase it more or decrease it more. That is, now the dynamic block is in a certain rule. That is, it is specific to a certain length. So you can select any of the length according to the need. This has a wide application. Consider I have a wooden block like this, right? And this one like this, right? Let the depth increases like this till here, like this. And I will close my line like this, right? Now, if I insert the nail here, that is I and press enter and press OK, it is actually working here, right? Correct. Now when I insert it again here, somewhere here like this, you can see that the nail is not crossing. Now if my requirement is to cross this nail till here, I can select this nail and increase the length according to my need. So for this time I can say that at this point I need a nail of length 5 inch. Right. Similarly, if I insert another nail somewhere here and increase the length, and you can say that 6 inch nail is not enough to cross this border. Right. So this is how you use dynamic block. Now let us know some other features of dynamic block too. Now as you can see that when I applied the block, the nails are starting from the surface, which is logically wrong. The bottom surface of the nail must coincide with the top surface of this plane. So in this situation, what we can do is that we can select the block and double click on it to get the block definition and press OK to go to block editor. What we have to do is that we have to change the base point from here to a base point here. It is also possible in dynamic block. You can come to parameters and you can find an option called base point. Clicking on this, you can change your base point manually. So that means what all blocks you create, unfortunately you came to know that your base point is wrong, you can actually edit it with this option. And close your block editor, save on that, and you can see that it has reflected on all the blocks. Really amazing, right? Moving on, what if I have a top view of this object available here, like this? So that means you have to show the nail's top view here. That is also possible in the dynamic block. That means you can add different views to the same block. So for that, let me double click on the block and go for the block editor like this. My requirement is to bring the top view of this object on the same view. So for that, let me create a top view like this, from the center point to here, and another circle from here to depict the top view. Right. Now, to toggle between different views, you have to insert an option called visibility, which is available in the parameters set. So when you click this visibility option, you can bring and give your visibility dialog box somewhere here, like this. Now you can see that it is showing another error that only one visibility state has been defined. That is visibility state 0, which is now active. So in order to define different visibility states, you can come to the visibility state option here and give your visibility state. This time I will rename it as top view, like this. Correct. And I will create another view which is of name front view. Correct. Going with the default options, I will press OK and OK. Right. Now, from here you can toggle between different visibility states. Let's start with the top view. Top view means we must show only the two circles and we must hide other options. So there is an option to view the objects and to hide the objects also. So in the top view, I must hide all other options. So I will go and select the make invisible option like this and select the objects which I want to make invisible. That is this one, and this one. Correct. And press enter to make it invisible. Now you can see that the objects are showing in light shade. That means it is now invisible in the top view. Correct. Let me move and change this option to front view. Now you can see that all the objects have been seen. I have to make the circles invisible with this option like this and press enter so that the circles are now invisible. After doing so, you can press close block editor and save the changes. The thing is that the default view now was top view. So you can select this one and you can find the visibility state available here. When you click this, you can change to front view. Similarly this one changes to front view like this. Correct. Now if you want to insert in this area, we can insert it too. That is I press enter, I will go for OK and insert it with the same midpoint like this. Right. I can copy it with this midpoint to the center point like this and to the midpoint like this. Right. You can select the entire object, again copy with the center point and place it somewhere here like this. Right. So this becomes the top view and the front view of the object. So like this, you can really use dynamic block in an effective way in your drawing, and it plays a key role in designing. So that's the end of this session, and we hope you understood well. Keep posting your queries and feedback, and for more videos, log on to www.tutormash.com. Thank you.